The English deacon Charles Ludwig Dodgson, better known by his pen name Lewis Carroll, born in 1832 in Desbury, England, was a bizarre and grotesque man. As a boy, Carroll excelled in mathematics and won many academic prizes. At the age of 20, he was awarded a studentship to Christ's College. At that time, in England, reigned the Queen Victoria. She imposed very rigid moral rules. Follow that high standard weren't easy, and then some respected men had to live a double life. Lewis Carroll was a distinct and devout man. He was a math teacher at Oxford, but also a talented photographer. The relationship he had with young people in his adult years are of great interest. With the kids, he turned into Lewis Carroll. His most iconic and famous work is certainly Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. While sitting on the riverbank with her sister, Alice, who is feeling bored, noticed a white rabbit wearing a waistcoat and a pocket watch, and who seems in a hurry. She follows the animal down the rabbit hole, but then suddenly falls into a deeper hole, and she finds herself in a curious world. Alice notices a small door through which she can see a beautiful garden, but she is too big to go through it. Then she discovers a bottle on a table, labeled "Drink Me." She followed the command, and she became too small to reach the key left on the table. Then the caterpillar helped Alice understand how one side of the mushroom will make her taller and the other side will make her shorter. At the end of her crazy adventure, Alice joins the Queen of Hearts in a strange game of croquet. Suddenly, the King of Hearts blamed the Nymph of Earth of stealing the Queen's tart. All of a sudden, just a moment before the Nymph of Hearts were possessed, Alice finds herself awake on her sister's lap, back at the riverbank. It was just a dream, she thought. There are two main movies adaptations of the Carroll's book. The first, feature-length animated film in 1951, produced by Disney, and the second film, direct from the genius of Tim Burton. It's important to compare these three projects to understand the importance and for highlight the difference among them. First of all, both in Disney and Burton movie, the story are structured differently compared to Carroll's original book. There is no direction to the story. Another significant difference is the importance given to each character. Indeed, some are meaningless in the book movie, like the Cheshire Cat or the White Rabbit. On the other hand, have been removed some other important figures. To name a few, the meeting with the Griffin, the Duchess, and the Jabberwock. The complexity of the original text, full of wordplay, poems, and literary references, hard to translate in another language, make this opera an incredible and unique children's book, open to many different interpretations. Therefore, a lot of Italian authors have been trying to translate the story. The original script remains open to many levels of reading. Many people believe the book contains hidden meanings on a much deeper level, also thanks to the abundance of figures of speech, such as metaphor and allegories. The Wonderland can be a first example. This hidden world shows the difficult relationships between the childhood and the adult age. Alice represents the child's struggle to survive in the confusing world of adults. To understand the adult world, Alice has to overcome the open-mindedness that is characteristic for children. Another significant step of the plot is Alice falls in the rabbit hole. After falling through the hole, Alice tests her knowledge to determine whether she has become another girl. This fall may be interpreted as the fear to get into the adult world. Moreover, the white rabbit's hurry represents, in no uncertain terms, the hurry that dominates the adult society. They are always running up and down, busy and stressed. As we can notice, the most obvious theme that can be found in Alice's adventure in Wonderland is the theme of growing up, and the caterpillar actually teaches Alice how to cope with the difficulties she encounters in Wonderland. Last but not least, Alice's character. She is a reasonable, well-trained and polite little girl. From the start, she is a miniature middle-class Victorian lady. But on the other hand, she represents the freedom and the light-heartedness usually seen in the childhood. Although Carol invented Alice's Adventure in Wonderland for the entertainment of children, many scholars have thought to discover various underlying influences in his work. The books have been explained for all kinds of viewpoints, like drug use, Freudian influence, mathematics, political satire, sex, and pedophilia. In my opinion, Lewis Carroll was an original and troubled man. His viewpoint on childhood was revolutionary. In that period, the children's education was basically an indoctrination, and the kids had to learn and follow a set of rules, making them become fully integrated in a society with clearly defined rules. The author emphasizes the fantasy, promoting it as essential element in all ages, able to open the tired adult's eyes that are always focused on the material life, deprived of dreams. Lewis Carroll remains a masterpiece of world literature, and we all know that the beautiful adventure of Alice in Wonderland raised whole generations. This opera is the proof of what a sick and twisted mind can create. A carefree and magic parallel world, a place where everything is possible and where you can run away from everyday life, even if just for a second.